Dear students, in continuation to our topic from Part A, Employability Skills, today we will discuss from the book which we will use in the academic session 2020-21. My dear students, before this, I have already made 4 videos completing 6 sessions from NCERT book on the topic communication skills. Today, from this book in session 1, we will see methods of communication. Dear students, employability skills are those skills that are necessary for every job. These skills are also called soft skills, job readiness skills, or foundational skills. In general, communication skill is one of the most important skill that employers want. Communication skill is the ability to explain what you mean in a clear and concise way through written and spoken means. It is a process which involves sharing of information, opinions, ideas, and beliefs between two or more persons through a continuous activity of speaking, listening, and understanding. Communication is not only important in our day-to-day life, but it also plays a significant role in one's professional career. People use different forms of communication such as written and spoken words, body gestures, and various other methods so that the other person completely understands the message communicated. So, my dear students, it is a process of sharing information, opinions, ideas, or beliefs between two or more persons through a continuous activity of speaking, listening, and understanding. There are 3 methods of communication: verbal, non-verbal, and visual. Verbal communication is the most popular means of sharing information or ideas. There are 2 primary mediums of verbal communication: oral communication and written communication. Oral communication is the most common medium of communication. It refers to spoken words being used to convey a message. So, the message which we convey through our words is called oral communication. Effective oral communication is a two-way process and involves both speaking and listening. We can communicate through telephone, loudspeaker, tape recorder, or face-to-face interaction. More formal ways include presentations at business meetings, classroom lectures, and commencement speeches given at a graduation ceremony, etc. Spoken words bring personal warmth and friendliness and develop a bonding between the sender and the receiver, one who speaks and one who listens. Next, we will see factors to improve communication skills. To enhance our communication skills, we need to develop some basic traits, or we can say some basic characteristics. So these are speech, vocabulary, rhythm, tone, and pitch. Speech is the act of delivering a formal oral communication to an intended audience, means targeted audience. For this, one should use appropriate words and speak with clear diction and pronunciation. This would help to draw the attention of the listeners. Here, clear diction means the way the person speaks the words and the way the words are pronounced. Next is vocabulary. Competency of effective communication is judged by the correct usage of vocabulary. Means the speaker should have strong vocabulary, a good collection of words, and the proper use of those words in communication. Next is rhythm. Rhythm is the intonation, that is, primarily a variation in the pitch level of the voice with which one speaks. One should maintain a rhythm to express one's attitude and the different area of emotions such as surprise, happiness, irritation, curiosity, boredom, importance, mockery, etc. So, according to the situation, the speaker should change his rhythm. Next is tone. Words derive their power from the way they are spoken. So, the exact meaning of the words are understood by the way the words are spoken. The tone of the speaker helps to create an impact on the listeners. It reflects the attitude and the emotions of the speaker. Thus, one should always be particular and use an appropriate tone while speaking. The last one is pitch. Pitch refers to the loudness or softness of a speaker's voice. One should only speak louder while addressing large groups or across large spaces. So the speaker has to maintain his pitch according to the number of audience he is speaking to. Next is written communication. A written communication means communicating through written words. Writing is more valid and reliable than speech. Effective writing involves a careful choice of words, correct organization of words in a sentence, as well as the cohesive composition of sentences. A written communication is extensively used for official purposes as it creates a permanent record of evidence and can be saved for later use. Yes, my dear students, you might have heard that you believe on the written words, the written documents. There are different forms of written communication, which includes letters, reports, memos, circulars, questionnaires, manuals, etc. These days, messengers like WhatsApp, email, etc. are also used by people to convey messages. So here are some tips to improve written communication. Expand your vocabulary and learn new words. Learn to spell words correctly. Read regularly. It gives you an idea of how to use words appropriately. Improve your grammar and use appropriate tense and correct punctuation. Always write text keeping your audience in mind. So this was the written communication, the another medium of verbal communication. So my dear students, we will revise what we have just discussed. In this session, methods of communication, we have seen that there are three methods of communication: verbal, non-verbal, and visual. We have discussed the first one, verbal communication. And in verbal communication, there are again two mediums of verbal communication, that is oral communication and written communication. In oral communication, we have seen that there are some factors which are needed to improve our communication skills. And those factors are speech, vocabulary, rhythm, tone, and pitch. And in written communication, we have seen there are different forms of written communication, which is letters, reports, memos, circulars, questionnaires, and manuals, etc. These days, messengers like WhatsApp, email, etc. are also used by people to convey messages in a written communication. Next, we will see that verbal communication is further classified into two types, that is, intrapersonal communication and interpersonal communication. In intrapersonal communication, this form of communication is extremely private. It is undertaken to reflect upon or appreciate something. It includes the silent conversations we have with ourselves. Dear students, here in intrapersonal communication, the communication is done within the individual's mind. In this communication, only one person is involved in it, whereas in interpersonal communication, the information is exchanged between two or more individuals. To communicate effectively, the two individuals involved interchange their roles of sender and receiver repeatedly. It is the most common type of communication which occurs when you talk with your friends, family, or relations. It can be categorized further based on the number of participants. So, further, interpersonal communication is divided into dyadic communication, small group communication, and public communication. Dyadic communication is between two people. For example, two friends talking face to face, or two business colleagues using a telephone or an email. Next is small group communication. It occurs only when there are more than two people involved. The number of people involved in this type of communication is small, which allows each participant to interact and converse with the rest. In this case, only one person speaks at a time and the others listen. Press conferences, board meetings, and teleconference are examples of small group communication. In public communication, this type of communication takes place when one individual addresses a large gathering of people. Public speeches are an example of this communication. Next, we will see the functions of verbal communications. Verbal communication serves various purposes in our daily life. It enables people to symbolically represent objects, ideas, places, and so on. So, here an example is given. Using the word dog is a lot easier than getting down on all fours and acting like a dog. It means if you're talking about a dog, if you say the word dog, the another person comes to know that what a dog is. Or you will have to explain him becoming like dog on four legs. Or perhaps you will have to make a sound of dog, and then the next person will understand that you are talking about a dog. Some of the functions of verbal communication are as follows. Helps us to maintain relationships. It helps us to organize complex ideas and experiences into meaningful categories. For example, all the people we come in touch with are labeled with terms like friends, acquaintances, peers, family, colleagues, and strangers. It helps us to define reality. We use verbal communication to define everything: ideas, emotions, experiences, thoughts, objects, and people. Verbal communication is how we label and define what we experience in our lives. Imagine you are at a park with a few of your friends. The day is sunny and beautiful, but later it gets cloudy and begins to rain. Due to the unexpected rain, you define the day as disappointing and boring. However, one of your friends thinks that it is beautiful. Instead of focusing on the weather, he might be referring to the fact that he was having a good day by spending quality time with his friends. So, this is how it helps us to define the reality. It helps us to think. Without verbal communication, we would not function as thinking beings. We use it to reason, communicate, and can be used to reward and punish. We can offer verbal communication in the form of positive reinforcement to praise someone. We can also use it in a critical, aggressive, or hurtful ways as a form of negative reinforcement. That means one can, with verbal communication, express himself towards a person negative or in a positive way. These were some of the functions of verbal communication. Next method of communication is non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication happens in the absence of any oral or composed words. Instead of written or oral words, it depends on different non-verbal prompts like body movements, gestures, facial expressions, symbols, images, signal charts, and so on to express sentiments, attitudes, or information. Dear students, in nonverbal communication, we do not use words. We express ourselves with our body movements, our posture, our attitude. We show some images, some signals, and so on. There are many other ways to express without words are called non-verbal communication. Although no words are used, non-verbal communication can effectively convey numerous human emotions more accurately than verbal methods of communication. Non-verbal communication is an important aspect of the classroom and the workplace. It shows how you listen, look, and react while interacting with your classmates or co-workers. For effective communication, we should always follow the points mentioned below. Use a variety of appropriate facial expressions while communicating with people. Try to make eye contact while speaking in the classroom, during presentation, discussion, etc. As eye contact defines confidence and willingness to connect. Vary your vocal pattern throughout the presentation and avoid a moderately monotonous vocal range. That means one should change the way of speaking. The pattern of speaking should be changed while giving presentation. Avoid defensive gestures like holding hands in front of your chest or putting them behind the back. That should be kept in mind while speaking in front of the public. Refrain from fidgeting with your hands or clothes. That means avoid paying attention to your hands or your clothes. While giving presentation, stop unnecessary movement of your hands. During presentation, always stand straight and move around with ease and assurance. Always remember that verbal and non-verbal communications are not independent of each other. To become an effective communicator, we need to be in control of both forms of communication. Tone, body language, and other factors are as important as spoken words while conveying a message. Nonverbal communication can be very helpful when we are operating in a different culture. Even though we might not be well versed in the language, we can use our body gesture to support our expression. That means if we are in such a place where we do not know the language of that area, there we can express ourselves with our gesture, with our body language. Functions of nonverbal communication. Some functions of nonverbal communications are as follows. We use nonverbal communication to emphasize on verbal communication. For example, a head nod or a head shake reinstates the verbal messages of yes or no. If your mother asks you whether you want to eat breakfast, you might verbally say yes and at the same time nod your head. We use nonverbal communication to replace verbal communication using behaviors that are easily recognized by others, such as a wave, a head nod, or a head shake. For example, if someone asks you a question, instead of verbal yes, you may choose to nod your head only. We use nonverbal cues to complement or reinforce verbal communication. For example, if a friend tells you that she got selected in one of the premier institutes for further studies, you may exclaim, "Wow, that's great! I'm so happy for you," all the while smiling and hugging your friend. Here, you are using non-verbal communication to complement what you are saying. We use non-verbal communication to communicate emotions. For example, it is easy to spot when your friend is feeling sad. Her drooping shoulders, a body gesture would be indicative of her emotions. So, with the emotions, with our body gestures, with our actions, we express ourselves to others. We use non-verbal communication to give feedback to the other person. During our discussions, if the audience is smiling and nodding, it shows that they agree with what the speaker is saying. Certain hand gestures may indicate that the listener wishes to speak. These subtle signals provide transparent information. Non-verbal practices to follow during an interview. An interview is a crucial part of the recruitment process. Hence, how we communicate and display our posture during the interview makes a significant difference. Let us now look at some effective nonverbal practices we should keep in mind during an interview. This is the very important part of one's life. After you study, you also will appear in the interview. So you will have to keep these certain practices while appearing in interview. Maintain eye contact with the interviewer for a few seconds at a time. Smile and nod when the interviewer is talking. Be polite and keep an even tone to your speech. Don't be too loud or too quiet. Do not slouch while sitting. Relax and lean little towards the interviewer so that you appear interested and engaged. Do not lean back. Keep your feet on the floor and your back against the lower back of the chair. Be attentive to whatever the interviewer is saying or asking. Do not interrupt your interviewer. Rest an arm on the chair or on your lap to look comfortable. So these are some very important Points to be remembered while you appear for an interview. After verbal and non-verbal communication, we will discuss the next method of communication, that is visual communication. The conveyance of ideas and information in forms that can be seen through the eye is referred to as visual communication. The history of visual communication can be traced back to a time when writing was not invented. People did not know the language and relied on paintings and images to express their thoughts and views. These paintings date back to more than 40,000 years ago. Visual communication, hence, has been a vital part of mankind's existence and expression. Visual communication is the most effective way of passing information as the human mind processes images very quickly. Therefore, verbal communications can be made effective and more meaningful by using visual aids and such as signs, graphics, designs, graphs, diagrams, films, posters, books, typography, screen-based media, maps, charts, paper handouts, Quirky, GIFs, etc. Dear students, here visual communication, as we have seen, that whatever we see from our eyes, in olden days when there was no writing skills, people used to believe only on the paintings and the images to express their thoughts and views. Verbal communications can be made effective and more meaningful by using visual aids such as signs, graphic designs, etc. While you have seen that teachers also show you many pictures, diagrams to make you understand better. In the school, you also see models of the solar system and skeleton systems are essential visual aids to explain the concept clearly. These models would enable the students to comprehend the concepts thoroughly. Even an illiterate person can easily understand the information that is being presented using visual aids. For example, symbols used in traffic management are an important visual aid to convey a message. However, the creation of visual aids can be a time consuming process, but it can be useful if utilized properly. Points to consider while preparing a presentation. When you have to prepare a presentation, always keep the following points in mind. Make sure that your content is suitable for visual presentation. All fonts should be legible and appropriate for the communication style. Use callouts in moderation to highlight vital informations. Present content in a way that follows a logical hierarchy. Keep significant negative space. When too much information is present in a layout, messaging becomes cluttered and incoherent. Illustrations should match the topic under discussion. Icons should be simple, easy to understand, and universal. Remember, they are meant to enhance comprehension and not distract the audience. Don't overwhelm the audience with multiple graphs of a single data when one combined graph may suffice. That means do not put more pictures in a presentation when a single picture can convey the message to your audience. Be smart while selecting appropriate visual devices. Always select visual tools that will complement your content and will be appreciated by the audience. Avoid unnecessary design, including 3D charts, ornamental illustrations, or inappropriate external elements. Use colors sparingly to highlight important information. Try and avoid bright or dull colors in your presentation. Make your presentation stand out, not stand apart. Communication helps people to know each other better. It helps in removing misunderstanding and creating clarity of thoughts. Communication in any form, written, oral, formal, informal, visual, interpersonal, intrapersonal, helps in educating people and connecting them better. A recap of the methods of communication. Three basic methods are used in the process of communication, that is verbal communication, non-verbal communication, and visual communication. Verbal communication refers to using words to exchange thoughts, feelings, and ideas with others. There are two primary mediums of verbal communication: oral communication and written communication. Verbal communication is further classified into two types: intrapersonal communication and interpersonal communication. Some of the factors that enhance oral communications are speech, vocabulary, rhythm, tone, and pitch. Written communication means communicating through written words. Verbal communication helps us to think, maintain relationships, define reality, and organize complex ideas and experiences into meaningful categories. Non-verbal communication happens in the absence of any oral or composed words. Non-verbal communication depends on different non-verbal prompts like body movements, gestures, facial expressions, symbols, images, signal charts, and so on to express sentiments, attitudes, or information. We use non-verbal communication to emphasize, replace, or complement verbal communication, communicate emotions, and to give feedback to the other person. The conveyance of ideas and information in forms that can be seen through the eye is referred to as visual communication. Verbal communication can be made effective using visual aids. Dear students, this was the conclusion of the chapter Methods of Communication. Now we will see the assessment. Multiple choice questions. Which of the following is not a form of non-verbal communication? The options are facial expressions, hand gestures, spoken words, and eye contact. So here the option C, spoken words, is the right option, because spoken words is not a form of non-verbal. It is a form of verbal communication. Next is, which form of communication is extremely private? So here the option A is the right answer. Intrapersonal is the communication extremely private. Which of the following brings personal warmth and friendliness between the sender and receiver? Here option B is correct. That is oral communication. Fourth is, which of the following functions of verbal communication is incorrect? So here option B is right. Verbal communication hinders maintenance of relationships. Next is, any communication that conveys a message consisting of spoken words is called, here also option B will come, oral communication. A smile and a nod is an example of, here option C will come, non-verbal communication. Next is fill in the blanks. So here In dash communication, information is exchanged between two individuals. So, in interpersonal communication, the conveyance of ideas and information in forms that can be seen through the eye is referred to as visual communication. Press conferences, board meetings, and teleconference are examples of small group communication. Dash communication happens in the absence of any oral or composed words. So here, non-verbal communication happens in the absence of any oral or composed words. Fifth one is dash communication enables people to symbolically represent objects, ideas, places, etc. Verbal communication. So option 5 is verbal. Dash is the loudness and softness of a speaker's voice. So here pitch is the loudness and softness of a speaker's voice. Dear students, here also I have given you some solved questions so that you can go through and learn them. There are 6 question answers that will come in the test along with multiple choice questions and fill in the blanks. We shall start in the next class, session 2, communication cycle. Thank you.